Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge indoor-outdoor wall sconce called a Cavo, C-A-V-O. 303080 is the model number. This is designed to be an outdoor sconce. It is rugged and excellent that way. However, I think this is beautiful enough to be used inside, and I think there's some great applications this sconce would serve, really. I think this would be great with opal glass used in a bathroom, so you could put in a really big LED and get a lot of light out of this onto you so you can see you in that mirror. I also think this would be great with the clear glass, and you can use it like flanking a fireplace or maybe in a dining room flanking a painting, like one on each side. And in that case I would use something more decorative. So I think this is a great sconce inside and out. And let's kind of move on from there. Let's talk about the size of the fixture itself. 25.8 inches from the very bottom to the very top. Width is coming in at 5 inches. Projection is 5.6 inches from the wall coming out. And the mounting height, that's the distance from the bottom of the fixture to the middle of the electrical outlet box, is coming in at 10.8. The back plate on this is 4.1 by 20.5, so it's nice and large. It can go over your 4-inch junction box without any problem. To show you a little bit more information about that, we're going to take a quick look at the installations instructions now. So if you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look over on that side of the screen. Midway down you're going to see a link. It's going to say click here for installations instructions PDF. So open that up for me. It's going to show you a full parts kit, how it goes together, which is really fast and simple. It's going to show you also there's 2 types of glass that this is going to be available with. So I talked about the opal glass. That's a milky white glass. It's opaque, so you won't be able to see your bulb. I'll talk more about opal glass a little later in the video. And then the other one is going to be clear. So remember, in the idea of a clear glass is you're going to be able to see the bulb. So you want to use something, and it could be any of these kind of things. You've got flame tips in here and torpedoes, kind of make it look like a little flame inside. There's also another one called a T8. T8 is a little bit more modern. I don't know if I would use it in there, but it's just one of the ones that you could use if you use the clear glass because it's an interesting bulb. Now, if you're in the sunny state of California and you are using or you're pulling permits for new construction or renovation, we offer what's called a GU24 socket. So this is going to be special for people that are pulling those permits because California has something called the Title 24 compliancy laws that don't allow you to use any kind of incandescent on your outdoor lighting. They kind of lock you into using an LED or a fluorescent. Most of you guys would use LEDs, and they have the little prongs on them for the GU24. So that's if you're pulling permits in the state of California and they're coming out to see you and check on see what you're doing. If the rest of you are just using, not pulling permits, you're just going to be using this, and that's just a medium-based socket, porcelain socket, and it can accommodate a lot of bulbs. The glass on this is pretty big. It's 4.5 inches in diameter, 12.95 inches tall, so it's almost 13 inches, and it can accommodate a lot of bulbs. If you want to stick with an incandescent, you can still do that, up to 60 watts. That's an A19 bulb. That's what you'd be doing. But I think you should go beyond that. I think you should go into some cool LEDs. Again, you can get a lot of light out of this, and let's find some LEDs. There's a little torpedo, and they make flame tip versions of this as an LED. You can use that. That would be probably if I'm using clear glass, because I want to be able to see a pretty bulb. If I'm using the opal glass, it's opaque, so you can't see into it, so you can put whatever you want in there as long as it physically fits if you're using an LED. This is an A19, we know that fits. This is an A20, we know that fits. An A21 will probably fit as well. You can test these things out. They're easy to get, these bulbs. You can pick them up online. Home Depot, Walmart, Lowe's, Ace Hardware. They're all over the place. I can find these, or at least I can find this one in my grocery store in Vermont. So if I can find it here, you can find it out there. So I can find an A19 pretty much up to a 100 watt equivalent online if I really try. But if I want to get a lot of light out of this, and we talked about putting this into a bathroom, or if you're going to be putting this on your garage and you want to project a lot of light out into your driveway in the yard to find your dog, you can go to like an A20 or an A21. And these I can find up to like a 200 watt equivalent if I just scout around online. They're going to offer these lights to you, these bulbs, in all kinds of different ways as far as the color of the light coming out of them. We talk about that in all these videos. 2700 Kelvin, super yellow light. That may be the direction I want to go if I'm going to be putting these maybe around a pool or on a deck, and I want to dim them down. That could be very pretty. But if you're going to be using a more utilitarian action on these, like I said, like the yard or your front door or something like that, I would probably go for 3000 Kelvin. But remember, they're also going to offer you these bulbs in something called daylight. And daylight is the one you have to be careful about. That's the bluish white light, 4000 Kelvin, 5000 Kelvin, that people find like in hospital waiting rooms. It looks kind of like a light coming on an overcast day outside. What we like to use in our showroom, 3000 Kelvin, warm white, soft white. That's the light coming down from these LEDs above us, and it looks really nice. It looks like the glow of an incandescent bulb. That's what we use here. So depending on which glass you're going to be using and the look you're trying to achieve, you can bounce around anywhere from an incandescent to an LED flame tip, those little guys. If I'm going to be using the opal glass, I'm definitely going to go for something like one of these clear ones. You can also get these bulbs. You remember the old time ones that have the plastic shields on them? They're still around if you like those as far as LEDs go. I favor these because they throw light in all directions. There's no cooler and warmer spots on them. And again, you can find them everywhere. If you're going to be using this in a situation where you want to dim it, just make sure the bulbs say that they're dimmable on the package and you're good to go. Hubbardton Forge only uses aircraft-grade aluminum to make their outdoor fixtures. Aluminum holds up the best in incredibly harsh environments. When you're out and you look up in the sky and you see all those jet airliners running around up there, those are all made out of aluminum for a reason. And part of that reason is it holds up great, like I said. It also forges beautifully. It holds finish beautifully. It doesn't rust. Remember that. It's very important. And they're virtually indestructible when they're all finished. So how Hubbardton does it is they take the fixture itself, they're going to wire it up at the top, they're going to put a wire at the bottom, they're going to send a current of electricity that's going to go through this fixture, making it positive, and they put it into a spray booth with a picture of the woman next to me. You can see she's spraying finish around it, and because it's positive, it's going to adhere to every nook, every cranny, the top, the bottom, the whole thing. After that, they're going to take this and they're going to move it into an oven. That oven is going to melt all of that down and create a very hard shell. So it makes it, again, virtually indestructible. So they've also tested these things in these wind chambers. So they take the fixture, all covered in that epoxy powder coat. It's going to go into that chamber. They're going to shoot salty seawater at it at high velocity for hours and hours and hours, just like you were at the beach and you have like a hurricane coming in, which to me is going to be pretty much the worst environment you're going to run into. So after they tested these and found out that they hold up incredibly well, Hubbardton Forge offers basically the best warranty in the lighting industry. And you can see that on the page for this. So if you scroll down a little bit, there's a link, and click on that and it'll show you the entire warranty and how it all works. I want to touch base on Hubbardton Forge's opal glass for just a second. So all of Hubbardton Forge's glass to begin with is going to be hand blown. This piece is hand blown first in clear, then they're going to come in and they're going to blow another layer of white glass on the inside of this. The third step is they're going to take and they're going to sandblast the whole thing on the inside and the outside. That's going to give you this beautiful, mellow, translucent, milky piece of glass. When you look at this and you can see the layers are actually piled up on the inside of this. Hubbardton Forge is very obsessed about details on all of their pieces, including their glass, and that's why you're here, because you're probably just as obsessed about little details as well. Okay, showroom. Our showroom in Vermont has over 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. No other showroom is like this. Hubbardton Forge doesn't even have their own showroom. They use this one. What's on display? We have a great tab on that. And those same red tabs, you're going to see a What's on Display page. So open that up. It's going to show you everything we have on display, and including which finish, which shade, all of those things, and what kind of glass it's on there. We're open every day except Sunday, 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have an amazing clearance center. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued stuff, showroom samples. You have to come here to use it. Can't call us or email us about it, but it's definitely worth coming in to look at if you're in Vermont. Plus, you want to use the showroom anyway because there's just so much great stuff here to see. Our number in Vermont, 802-446-2400. You can email us 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Love to answer emails, and it's sales@HandmadeInVermont.com. So when you order from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is going to be free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. And we're the only dealer with 90-day returns, no restocking fee. Nobody else does that. Some larger items are going to be non-returnable. It's going to be really important that you are looking at the fixture on that page and kind of scroll down under the description. It'll tell you if that is the case. And that's usually for really big, giant, huge fixtures, mostly that go out on pallets. Okay, That's it. Rush program. Let's talk about that. So rush program, Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to go out the door. That's production time before your transit time. You always have to add that on too. We offer a rush program that takes you from that 3 to 4 weeks down to a little under 2 weeks. It's a very small addition per line item. So if you have like 1, 2, 3 items, like let's say 3 or 4 outdoor sconces, and they're all the same size and they're all the same finish, that's one line item. So it's very inexpensive to rush those kind of things. Don't be afraid to email us and ask about that. Okay, so that's really it. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. We would love to see you in our showroom sometime. And thanks for stopping in.